When I tell y'all the block is hot, I told y'all the other day. Was it not Monday that I said Married to Medicine was about to blow up? Didn't I say that? I know I said it. I know I said it. I know I said it. From Sweet Tea's video on her YouTube channel. Make sure y'all go over there, check that out. Then I knew that Dr. Heavenly was going to be recapping the show. Then with Dr. Heavenly's tweet about Simone and what Simone said or didn't say when asked about whether or not she had heard about Dr. Damon in the streets before and didn't answer and said no comment, I knew that that was going to be, I knew that all the things was going to start to explode. I knew it because it did last year. So here we are. If you are a fan of Married to Medicine, let's get into the Biz Not Eat, y'all. Before we do that, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell button, and slap that like button, okay? So let us get down into the Biz Not Eat. First things first, let's take things over to our friends over at OMFG Reality TV. Make sure you guys give them a follow, a like, a comment. So you know that Dr. Heavenly had posted this saying, I hear Dr. Simone loud on my man tonight on Watch What Happens Live. She called me saying we need to get to season 12. I told y'all how I felt about that when I know things that are going on only for the sake of getting to season 12 or for the sake of keeping the show moving forward, because I kind of feel like, again, we don't need to know the truth about Santa Claus, okay? So anyway, she says, my marriage is not for sale. Sorry, Cecil, you may have to catch these strays. As your wife said, we must get to season 12. So Dr. Simone responds and says, sitting here wondering why you, at Dr. Heavenly, would lie on me. You called me with a CYA. What is CYA? I'm assuming this, is it, I thought it was, is it, what does that mean? Why is it just me? And anyway, she says, and I handed you one right back. We have all heard rumors about each other's husbands. Shall I start recording our combos for future reference or just get on social media? So this gets back to something that Sweet Tea has said about Dr. Heavenly, I guess maybe saying something to her about those rumors that Mariah said. I don't really know. Is that what Simone is referencing? Like their private conversations that then get to the public via a live or some other form of whatever. I don't really know. I don't listen. Dr. Damon is catching it this season, okay? Whether it's from these alleged rumors, and we put the alleged badge out here because listen, I feel for him on that one, right? But the way he's kind of handling those rumors in context to the rumors that were put out about Dr. G being a PED, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like, you know, you should feel the same level of sensitivity that he feels, right? And you do feel that same level of sensitivity, but you're calling him sensitive. That it doesn't match to me, right? It doesn't match and it doesn't seem right to a lot of people. So then we get to the thing that really blows literally everything up. So the headline reads, oop, Dr. Heavenly says there was a meeting to get Quad kicked off Married to Medicine. And she basically goes in to expose it central, like who was I guess at the core of this meeting and who told her about it. This reminds me of back when we discovered that there was an alleged meeting to come up with a storyline for Monique that season. Remember that reveal back in the day? This reminds me of that. So let's get into it. just a little bit, because it's, you know, these are clips. I'm just gonna have to play a little bit and then talk, right?
You put Quad off the show. That was my understanding of it. And they had a whole meeting about it. They called production saying, you know, this person was gonna do all that, this, that.
So okay, let's get into just that. She is alleging that there was a meeting amongst certain cast members, and in my opinion, I mean, I don't know what my opinion is actually, because I can't really determine who would be there, other than we would assume maybe Toya, we would assume maybe Dr. Simone, we would assume maybe Dr. Jackie, we would assume, could we even assume Phaedra? Because Phaedra wasn't really in that mix with them, but we also know that Phaedra tried to get Quad back in good with the group, and it just didn't work out. I don't know, like, and then the fact that she said that they brought in production to help facilitate this and make it happen. It's like, just in my mind alone, first of all, let's talk about a couple of things. We would have to already relatively assume that if they are going to show Quad being kicked off the show, that there had to have been some level of discussion about it with the cast and production. It wasn't just, it didn't seem like just a flippant decision. Like, you know what? F it. This ain't getting through to her. We just gonna kick her off the show. That mean it did seem kind of like, okay, this is gonna be the play. We're gonna invite her out here, have this confrontation, and then we're just gonna ask her to leave, and off away you go, right? So we get that bit of tea right there, right off the rip, of who all was involved.
And the other thing, this is before the new opportunities arrive, right?
Now, she says before the new opportunities arrive. Does that mean Phaedra, or does that mean also Sweet Tea? It could have been the combination of Phaedra and Sweet Tea as the new opportunities.
So they led the charge. Now, people told me, Jackie told me, okay, that they had a meeting, but they excluded me from.
So she says they excluded her from the meeting because they felt like she would go back and tell Quad because she's friends with Quad. Now, she's saying that Dr. Jackie, you know, kind of had to go on the side and put the bug in her ear and let her know what was going on. Because, you know, Dr. Jackie wasn't really cool with Quad either. But because Dr. Jackie is cool with Dr. Heavenly, I'm saying allegedly about all this because, I mean, it sounds believable to me. It sounds believable based on what we saw. And then we're going to get into Toya's response to it.
The meeting because they thought I would tell Quad, right?
So, and it's probably very likely that Dr. Heavenly would tell Quad, because we know that they got that kind of like sisterly relationship where they on and off, but they more on than they are off.
I be talking too much and I don't need to be on live.
Stay on live, baby. Stay on live. I don't know if they're going to let you stay on live for much longer, but stay on the live, baby. This right here, woo, is opening up the floodgates.
But I would just say this and take it back.
Can you really say it and take it back? I mean, not right now.
Jackie told me.
Oh, Lord, Dr. Jackie done caught the stray for being the messenger, baby. Let me tell you something. Let's get into what the problem is with Married to Medicine. Because Dr. Heavenly goes on to say that, you know, she decided that she would go ahead and film with Quad, even if the rest of them didn't, because without her and Quad and their mess, what would the show be? Like, they are the show. She pretty much says that. She and Quad are the show. They are providing the drama. And so when you really think about it, I mean, she does kind of credit Sweet Tea, but what she says, because she calls her Lipton, what she says essentially is that Lipton can't spill her own tea. So I'm assuming what she means by that is she got to be at it with somebody in some type of way. right? So, all of this is working. Even if it's working against her, it's still working in her favor because it's keeping her activated. I'm assuming that's what she means. But do you agree with Dr. Heavenly that without her and Quad, there would be no show? I got to go and watch the entire live. This is the clip that is making its way around the interwebs. And I was like, we have got to talk about it, right? We've got to talk about it because to me, again, this is one of those things that I don't like about reality TV sometimes is this notion that people will, get together to oust someone because it almost feels like, is that what happened to Mariah? Is like, did y'all was that the thought process? Like, we don't like her either. Let's let her go too. Like, let's get her off this thing. Let's find a way. Like, is that what happened? And don't get me wrong, I love this cast. So this is a difficult discussion to have for me. If you look at what Toya had to say in response, she says, I can't with people who look for opportunities to just talk and get people riled up for no reason. If Quad is back and working, why are we talking about her being off the show? She then goes on to say, I'd like to know who attended and why did they invite her if she was Quad's friend? But what Toya does not say was that didn't happen. That's what I'm waiting. I was waiting for her to say that never happened. What is she talking about? But what she says is, I'd like to know who attended and why they invited her if she was Quad's friends. But what Dr. Heavenly said was they did not invite her because they knew she was Quad's friend. So I'm not quite sure what is happening with that. I'm kind of trying to go in and see if she clarified that. Somebody said you knew you was at that meeting. But that was my thing too. I'm like, why? Like, I would have been waiting for Toya to say that never happened. Like, what are you talking about? Like, she just making up stuff. That to me would have been like, oh, okay, well, at least you cast a shadow of a doubt. But in this comment, like, you didn't even cast a shadow of a doubt for me. That was what I was waiting on. So I just have to assume that there's some level of truth to it. But again, we would almost have to have always assumed that there was truth to this because, like I said, as it played out on TV, it didn't just happen, it seems to me. It seemed definitely like we're going to have a conversation with her. If it goes well, we'll keep her on the trip. If it don't go well, we kicking her off the trip. Now, Quad has somewhat responded. Quad says, the truth hurts, but it is what it is. Shout out to Sterling Picks. Man. Oh, Quad. Oh, Quad. Oh, Quad. What do y'all think? Y'all let me know in the chatterization down below. I mean, did the plot work? What did you think about this alleged scheme? These allegations? We have to say allegations, okay? We got to say allegations. Everything in this video is alleged, but man, it sounds like I don't like when stuff like that happens. Like this whole like we gonna get together and we gonna band together to get this person off because it just kind of goes to show you like, dang, like the moment somebody falls out of favor, y'all, they gonna the group gonna be like, boom, you out of here. So anyway, let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. With that being said, of course, I will still be watching the show. Duh. All right, because we got to recap it. Until we can't. Anyway, with that being said, I will catch you all in the next